Shalom, my friends. Today, I'm going to reveal to you the most powerful prayers for financial breakthrough. These are not just words you recite. These are ancient spiritual technologies that have been used by the Jewish people for thousands of years to attract abundance, open doors, and create miracles. I'm going to share with you 3 specific prayers that have transformed my life and the lives of countless others. These prayers are rooted in Torah, backed by Kabbalah, and proven by experience. And when you pray them correctly, with the right intention and understanding, they will unlock financial breakthroughs in your life. I'm on a mission to reach 10,000 subscribers before the year ends, so I can spread timeless wisdom about wealth, faith, and legacy. If you believe wisdom should be shared, please subscribe and become part of this growing community of modern thinkers and future millionaires. You can also become a channel member for exclusive content, early access, and inner circle teachings. But before I give you these prayers, I need to explain something critical. Prayer is not magic. Prayer is not about manipulating God to give you what you want. Prayer is about aligning yourself with God's will, opening yourself to receive His blessings, and positioning yourself to recognize and seize the opportunities He places in your path. In the Torah, God promises, "Open your mouth wide, and I will fill it." This is not a promise that God will drop money from the sky. This is a promise that when you open yourself, when you ask, when you position yourself to receive, God will provide. But you have to do your part. So today, I'm going to teach you 3 powerful prayers. I'm going to explain what each prayer means, why it works, and how to pray it correctly. And I'm going to connect these prayers to practical financial strategies, because prayer without action is just wishful thinking. Let me start by addressing a common misconception. Many people think that praying for money is selfish, that it's greedy, that God doesn't care about your finances. This is completely wrong. In the Torah, God repeatedly promises material blessings to those who follow Him. In Deuteronomy, God says, "The Lord will open the heavens, the storehouse of His bounty, to send rain on your land in season, and to bless all the work of your hands." This is a promise of material prosperity. In the book of Malachi, God says, "Bring the whole tithe into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house. Test me in this, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven, and pour out so much blessing that there will not be room enough to store it." This is an invitation to test God's faithfulness in providing material blessings. God cares about your finances because your finances affect every area of your life. When you're broke, when you're stressed about money, when you're drowning in debt, you can't focus on your purpose. You can't serve others. You can't fulfill your calling. Financial stress destroys marriages, damages health, and limits your ability to make a difference in the world. So yes, it is absolutely appropriate to pray for financial breakthrough, not because money is the goal, but because financial freedom enables you to fulfill your purpose. Now, let me give you the 3 most powerful prayers for financial breakthrough. Prayer number 1. The Modeh Ani. The Modeh Ani is the first prayer a Jew says every morning, immediately upon waking. It means, "I give thanks to you, living and eternal King, for you have mercifully restored my soul within me. Your faithfulness is great." This is a prayer of gratitude. Before you even get out of bed, before you check your phone, before you think about your problems, you thank God for restoring your soul, for giving you another day, for His faithfulness. Why is this so powerful for financial breakthrough? Because gratitude is the foundation of abundance. When you start your day with gratitude, you're programming your mind to see blessings instead of problems. You're training your reticular activating system to look for opportunities instead of obstacles. In Kabbalah, there is a teaching that gratitude opens the gates of heaven. When you express gratitude, you're acknowledging that everything you have comes from God. And when you acknowledge God as the source, He opens the floodgates to give you more. But here's the key. You can't just say the words, you have to feel the gratitude. When you wake up tomorrow morning, before you do anything else, say out loud, "I give thanks to you, God, for restoring my soul within me. Your faithfulness is great." And as you say it, feel the gratitude. Feel the appreciation for another day, another chance, another opportunity. Do this every single day for 30 days and watch what happens. You'll start noticing opportunities you didn't see before. You'll start feeling more positive, more energized, more confident, and opportunities will start appearing in your life. Prayer number 2, the Shema. The Shema is the central prayer of Judaism. It's found in Deuteronomy chapter 6, and it says, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your strength." This is a declaration of faith. It's a statement that God is one, that He is sovereign, that He is in control. And when you pray this prayer, you're aligning yourself with God's will. You're surrendering your plans to His plans. You're trusting that He will provide. Why is this powerful for financial breakthrough? Because most financial problems are rooted in fear. Fear of not having enough. Fear of losing what you have. Fear of the future. And fear blocks abundance. Fear causes you to make bad decisions, to hoard instead of invest, to play small instead of taking calculated risks. But when you pray the Shema, when you declare that God is one, that He is in control, that He will provide, you're releasing fear. You're replacing fear with faith. And faith opens the door to abundance. In the Torah, every time someone had a financial breakthrough, it was preceded by an act of faith. Abraham left his homeland with no guarantee of where he was going. Joseph trusted God even when he was sold into slavery and thrown into prison. Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt with no plan for how to feed them in the desert. And in every case, God provided. Here's how to pray the Shema for financial breakthrough. Twice a day, morning and evening, say out loud, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. I love the Lord my God with all my heart, with all my soul, and with all my strength." As you say it, visualize God as your provider. See Him opening doors. See Him bringing opportunities. See Him providing for all your needs. Feel the faith rising in your heart. Release the fear. Trust that He will provide. Do this for 30 days, and you will notice a shift. You'll start making better financial decisions. You'll start taking actions you were afraid to take before. You'll start seeing opportunities where you used to see obstacles. Prayer number 3, the Amidah, specifically the blessing of prosperity. The Amidah is the central prayer of every Jewish service. It consists of 19 blessings, and one of them is specifically about prosperity. It says, "Bless this year for us, O Lord our God, and all its produce for good. Bestow blessing upon the face of the earth. Satisfy us from your goodness, and bless our year like the best of years. Blessed are you, Lord, who blesses the years." This is a prayer for material prosperity. It's asking God to bless your work, to bless your business, to bless your income, to bless your year. It's a direct request for financial breakthrough. But here's what most people miss. This prayer is not just about receiving, it's about partnership. You're asking God to bless your work, which means you have to work. You're asking God to bless your business, which means you have to build a business. You're asking God to bless your year, which means you have to take action. In the Talmud there is a teaching: if you don't plow, you don't eat. Prayer without action is useless. You can pray for prosperity all day long, but if you don't take action, nothing will happen. So here's how to pray this prayer correctly. Every morning, after you pray the Modeh Ani and the Shema, pray this blessing: "Bless this year for me, O Lord my God, and all my work for good. Bestow blessing upon my business, my career, my investments. Satisfy me from your goodness, and bless my year like the best of years." As you pray this, visualize your business growing, your income increasing, your investments multiplying. See yourself achieving your financial goals. Feel the abundance. And then, immediately after you pray, take one action toward your financial goals. Make one sales call. Send one email. Work on one project. Take one step. This is the key. Prayer plus action equals breakthrough. Prayer aligns you with God's will. Action positions you to receive His blessings. Now, let me connect these prayers to the Torah and show you why they work. In the book of Genesis, when Jacob was fleeing from his brother Esau, he stopped to sleep and had a dream. In the dream, he saw a ladder reaching from earth to heaven, with angels ascending and descending. When he woke up, he said, "Surely the Lord is in this place, and I was not aware of it." This is the power of prayer. Prayer makes you aware of God's presence. Prayer opens your eyes to see what was always there, but you couldn't see. Prayer is the ladder that connects earth to heaven, the natural to the supernatural, your effort to God's blessing. When you pray the Modeh Ani, you're becoming aware of God's faithfulness. When you pray the Shema, you're becoming aware of God's sovereignty. When you pray the blessing of prosperity, you're becoming aware of God's provision. And this awareness changes everything. In Kabbalah, there is a teaching that the physical world is a reflection of the spiritual world. What happens in the spiritual realm manifests in the physical realm. When you pray, you're creating a spiritual reality. You're declaring abundance in the spiritual realm. And as you take action, that spiritual reality manifests in the physical realm. This is not magic. This is how the universe works. Your thoughts create your reality. Your beliefs shape your actions. Your actions determine your results. Prayer shapes your thoughts and beliefs. Action turns those thoughts and beliefs into results. Let me give you a personal example. When I was starting out, I was broke. I had $50 in my bank account and $30,000 in student debt. I was stressed, anxious, fearful. I didn't know how I was going to make it. Then I started praying these 3 prayers every day. Every morning, I would thank God for another day. I would declare that He is one and that He will provide. I would ask Him to bless my work, and then I would take action. I would make sales calls. I would create content. I would serve my clients. And slowly, things started to change. Opportunities started appearing. Clients started reaching out. Income started increasing. Within 3 years, I had paid off all my debt and built a 6-figure business. Within 5 years, I was a millionaire. Was it just the prayers? No. I also worked hard. I took action. I made smart decisions. But the prayers changed my mindset. They replaced fear with faith. They replaced scarcity with abundance. They opened my eyes to see opportunities I was blind to before. This is the power of prayer. It doesn't replace action, it empowers action. It doesn't replace strategy, it enhances strategy. It doesn't replace work, it blesses work. Now, let me give you some practical strategies to combine with these prayers for maximum financial breakthrough. Strategy number 1. Tithe. In the Torah, God commands the Israelites to give 10% of their income to the Levites, who served in the temple. This is called the tithe. And God promises that when you tithe, He will open the windows of heaven and pour out blessings. I know what you're thinking. Rabbi, I'm broke. I can't afford to give away 10%. But here's the truth. You can't afford not to. Tithing is not about giving God your money. Tithing is about acknowledging that everything you have comes from God. And when you acknowledge God as the source, He opens the floodgates. I started tithing when I was broke. I had $50 in my bank account, and I gave $5 to my synagogue. It felt crazy. It felt irresponsible. But I did it in faith. And within a week, I received an unexpected check for $500. This happened over and over. The more I gave, the more I received. This is not a formula. This is a principle. When you give, you create space to receive. When you trust God with your finances, He proves Himself faithful. Strategy number 2. Invest in yourself. In the Talmud, there is a teaching. A father is obligated to teach his son a trade. The idea is that you have a responsibility to develop skills that enable you to provide for yourself and your family. The best investment you can make is in yourself, in your education, in your skills, in your knowledge. Every dollar you invest in yourself has the potential to return 10x, 100x, even 1,000x. When I was broke, I spent $500 on a course about online marketing. It felt like a huge risk. But that course taught me skills that generated hundreds of thousands of dollars. That $500 investment returned over 1,000x. So here's what I want you to do. After you pray the blessing of prosperity, ask yourself, what skill do I need to develop to increase my income? And then invest in learning that skill. Take a course, read a book, hire a coach, invest in yourself. Strategy number 3, take calculated risks. In the book of Proverbs, King Solomon writes, "Whoever watches the wind will not plant. Whoever looks at the clouds will not reap." This means that if you wait for perfect conditions, you'll never take action. You have to take risks. But notice, calculated risks, not reckless risks, not gambling. Calculated risks, based on research, based on data, based on wisdom. When you pray the Shema, when you declare that God is in control, you're building the faith you need to take calculated risks. You're releasing the fear that keeps you playing small. And you're positioning yourself to seize opportunities that others are too afraid to take. Now let me give you some advanced strategies for using prayer to create financial breakthroughs. Advanced strategy number 1. Pray with specificity. Don't just pray, "God bless me financially." That's too vague. Pray specifically. "God, I need $10,000 to pay off this debt. I'm asking you to provide it by the end of this month." Or, "God, I need 3 new clients this week. I'm asking you to bring them to me." When you pray specifically, you're creating a clear target. You're focusing your mind. You're programming your reticular activating system to look for specific opportunities. And you're creating accountability. In the Torah, when Abraham's servant was looking for a wife for Isaac, he prayed a very specific prayer. He asked God to show him the right woman by having her offer water to him and his camels. And that's exactly what happened. Rebekah appeared and offered water. The specificity of the prayer led to a specific answer. Advanced strategy number 2. Pray with expectation. Don't pray and then doubt. Don't pray and then worry. Pray with expectation. Pray believing that God will answer. Pray as if it's already done. In the New Testament, Jesus says, "Whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." This is the principle of faith. You pray believing, and then you act as if it's already done. When I pray for a financial breakthrough, I don't just ask. I thank God in advance for providing. I visualize the breakthrough as if it's already happened. I feel the gratitude, the joy, the relief. And then I take action as if the breakthrough is on its way. Advanced strategy number 3. Combine prayer with fasting. In Jewish tradition, fasting is often combined with prayer for breakthrough. When you fast, you're denying your physical body to focus on the spiritual. You're demonstrating to God that you're serious, that you're desperate, that you're willing to sacrifice. I'm not saying you need to fast every day, but if you're facing a major financial crisis, if you need a major breakthrough, consider fasting for 1 day. Spend that day in prayer. Spend that day seeking God. Spend that day asking for His intervention. In the book of Esther, when the Jewish people were facing annihilation, Esther called for a 3-day fast. The entire nation fasted and prayed. And God intervened. He turned the situation around. He saved the Jewish people. Fasting, combined with prayer, is a powerful spiritual weapon. Use it when you need a major breakthrough. Now, let me address some common objections and questions about praying for financial breakthrough. Objection number 1. Isn't it selfish to pray for money? No. It's not selfish to pray for the resources you need to fulfill your purpose. It's not selfish to pray for the ability to provide for your family. It's not selfish to pray for the freedom to serve others. What's selfish is praying for money so you can hoard it, so you can show off, so you can indulge your ego. But if you're praying for money so you can give more, serve more, impact more, that's not selfish, That's stewardship. Objection number 2. I've prayed before and nothing happened. Maybe you prayed without action. Maybe you prayed without faith. Maybe you prayed with the wrong motives. Or maybe God answered, but not in the way you expected. God's timing is not our timing. God's ways are not our ways. Sometimes God says yes immediately. Sometimes He says wait. Sometimes He says no because He has something better. But here's what I know. When you pray consistently, when you combine prayer with action, when you pray with faith and the right motives, God will answer. Maybe not immediately, maybe not in the way you expect, but He will answer. Objection number 3. I don't know how to pray. You just learned 3 prayers. Start with those. Say them every day. Say them with intention. Say them with faith, and watch what happens. Prayer doesn't have to be complicated. Prayer doesn't have to be formal. Prayer is just talking to God. It's expressing your needs, your desires, your gratitude, your faith. Just talk to Him. He's listening. So here's my challenge to you. For the next 30 days, pray these 3 prayers every single day. Every morning, as soon as you wake up, pray the Modeh Ani. I give thanks to you, God, for restoring my soul within me. Your faithfulness is great. Feel the gratitude. Twice a day, morning and evening, pray the Shema. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. I love the Lord my God with all my heart, with all my soul, and with all my strength. Feel the faith. Every morning, pray the blessing of prosperity. Bless this year for me, O Lord my God, and all my work for good. Bestow blessing upon my business, my career, my investments. Satisfy me from your goodness, and bless my year like the best of years. Visualize the abundance. And then, after you pray, take action. Take one step toward your financial goals. Make one sales call. Send one email. Work on one project. Do something. Do this for 30 days, and I promise you, you will see breakthroughs. You will see opportunities. You will see provision. Not because prayer is magic, but because prayer aligns you with God's will, opens your eyes to see His provision, and empowers you to take action. Remember the words of the psalmist. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. When you delight in God, when you seek Him first, when you align yourself with His will, He provides, He opens doors, He creates opportunities, He brings breakthroughs. Shalom, and may you be blessed with the faith to pray boldly, the wisdom to act wisely, and the abundance to fulfill your purpose and bless others.